What's going on, everybody? It is TBR time. This time for November. I can't believe it's November. It feels like yesterday that it was my birthday back in August. It feels like last week that it was turning 2025, and now here we are, almost at the end. Time goes way too fast, you guys. Time goes way too fast. It's just, it blows my mind. It blows my mind. But nonetheless, here we are. And if time's going to pass, we might as well make the most of it. We might as well read a bunch of really cool books. So that's what I'm going to try to do. In November, I have, once more, tried to bring my TBR plans a little bit more realistic, right? Because if you watch the channel, as you know, through, September, October, life just got busy and I've had just less reading time. And so with October, I said, we got to be more realistic. We got to just not plan for a bunch of stuff. And it worked out much better for me, right? It didn't made me not feel stressed out because I didn't have to get to 4 books. I was like, if I just get these 2 done, I'll feel good, right? And so here in November, it's similar, right? I'm going to have a longer list of things, but it's not everything will be read all in November, certainly. But let's start off. Walk of Shame here with this first one, The Death of King Arthur, that I've been buddy reading this. I'll put that in quotations because I have not been doing a great job, to be honest, with David from Four Corners of the Page, who is just the best and is so patient with me as I've been moving so slow through this. My excuse for this, okay, our goal initially was to go. This is broken up into a lot of different stories. This is like a 400 or 500 page book, but it's broken up, about 500 pages into, I don't know, a dozen or 2 different stories. And so the goal was like, hey, maybe we hit like a story per week or something, right? Just really, really slow. It doesn't have to be stressful or anything like that, especially once we started this and we found out just how dense it is. It's very dense. It's pretty dry. It's not boring. It's not bad. It's just, you got to be in the right headspace for it, I think, or at least I do. And with how busy everything has been, not only has my reading time been condensed, but my mental bandwidth has just been like butter scraped over too much bread, is how I keep saying it. And so when that's the case and I have some reading time, but my brain's just like, mush, I'm grabbing something easier, right? So I've been, it was Empire of the Vampire, and it was the Wars of Light and Shadow, which, let me clarify that, right? Just to be clear, that does fit there. You don't need a ton of bandwidth to read the Wars of Light and Shadow. I know it has this reputation for being super complicated and super difficult. It's really not. Everything's right there on the page. It's super easy to follow, and the writing is so lyrical. It just pulls you right through, right? So please don't be worried. Don't be intimidated in that sense. Nonetheless, this doesn't really suit that. It just kind of pulls me through, fun, flowing type of read. This is something that I have to read this very, very closely, and I have to really, really deliberately think about it to follow what's going on, because the language itself is so alien, frankly. So I've been moving very, very slow, but I am resolved here in November to make some more solid progress through this. So David, if you see this, my brother, thank you for being patient with me. I will be better, right? I'm going to work through, and I know David is the nicest person ever. He's never going to be like, hey man, pick up the pace or whatever, right? So this is no pressure from David whatsoever. This is simply just me saying, I want to read this. I want to have fun with this. I want to have fun talking with David about it. Like it was when we started, right? It was so great. And then I just have been really slow and all that kind of stuff. So it's slowed down, and I want to get back to that. So Death of King Arthur, getting back to this, having more fun discussions with David as we slowly work through these very, very old texts. We have a list of stuff that we would like to get through sort of eventually. And this is, a hell of a way to start. But hey, what are you going to do? After that, finishing up Empire of the Damned. Okay, so as we sit here, I am a bit of the way into this. I'm not going to finish it by the end of October, but I will have a really good solid chunk of it done by then. And so it's not going to take me super long to finish this in the beginning of November, which is nice. My goal is to have it wrapped up and hopefully do another discussion, live stream with Ashley from Library of a Silver Saint about it if she's available and happy to do it. That would be awesome. And we hopefully can squeeze that in before I leave for the Shadows Upon Time release event. If we can't, not a big deal. We can do it when we get back, right? And it's there's no pressure there, but I would love to. That would be awesome. But a lot of that is contingent upon me finishing this in time, right? So that's the goal. This reads so fast. It's just fun, dark vampires, revenge, violence, so much great. You know what? I think I don't want to get this twisted, because when I talk about Empire of the Vampire and I talk about this book, so much of it is me talking about just how fun it is, right? And it's got the Halloween vibes, it's got the goth vibes, it's got the vampires and the blood and this is like sex, drugs, and rock and roll in a vampire story, right? And that is true. However, there are some great themes in here too, right? There's so much about faith, and what do we do when we feel like our faith deserts us, right? What does that do to somebody? There's a bunch in here about family and found family and fatherhood and finding your place in life. Like there's some really good, solid, deep themes in here as well, and I'm really excited to continue to get more and more of that as we get through book 2, and then of course book 3 being on the horizon. And I am a fake fantasy fan, and my November TBR does not include the holy triumvirate of Empire of the Dawn and Strength of the Few and Shadows Upon Time, like so many other people do. But we're getting closer. I'm going to finish this up, and then of course, I just mentioned it. This is Shadows Upon Time. Okay, so the goal is finish up Empire of the Damned before we go out to this release event. The release event is on the 15th. Going to Raleigh, meeting up with Christopher, with so many booktubers, so many fans of the series. Hundreds of people are going to be there. It's going to be awesome. I cannot wait. I can't wait. It's going to be this is one of those things that we're going to remember forever, right? It's just going to be a core life memory to not only meet so many amazing people, but to celebrate the end of a series that has touched me on such a deep, deep personal level and means so much to me. To get the finale, to experience this, to celebrate it with everybody is just going to be incredible. And so there is absolutely no way that I'm not jumping into that immediately. I actually get the book a few days early with everyone else who goes to the gala. We get it on the 15th when the book, worldwide comes out on the 18th, or at least nationwide. And so I'll get to jump into it a little bit early. I chose not to apply for an ARC. I know it seems like they were giving out ARCs like Halloween candy. I chose not to apply for one because, one, I didn't have really the time in the schedule with some of these other books I had to finish for buddy reads and stuff. But also, two, I want to experience it in hardcover, right? Like physical books are just so much more enjoyable reading experience for me usually than an ebook is. Sometimes I'll do the ebook just because like the price it's hard for me to justify. If it's a $3 ebook versus a $25 paperback, I'm like, all right, I'm going to do the ebook, right? But like for the most part, if I can get a physical edition, I just like it more. So I was like, I'll wait for that. I'll be able to read it along with so many more people, and it'll be great that way. So, Shadows Upon Time, finale of Sun Eater. What can I say that hasn't been said? We'll see. So many people. I don't think I've seen any actual negativity around it from people who have read it before. I'm trying really hard to stay away from any sort of discussion about it, any sort of spoiler-free reviews, anything. I'm trying really hard to avoid literally everything. But the little bits that have slipped through the cracks have been. This seems to pretty unanimously be the case that people think that Christopher landed the ship very, very well. So we'll see. We'll see. After that, I have a couple other things I'm going to jump into. One is we're going to start chipping away at the Citadel of the Autarch to complete the Book of the New Sun by Gene Wolfe. My goal is to complete this by the end of the year, and I'm going to do the same thing with Joanna that we've done for Book 2 and Book 3, where we read a chapter or two per day. I think we might do 2 chapters a day now. We switched to doing that in Book 3 and really enjoyed that. So I think we'll probably do that again here for Book 4. And if we jump in, I think the plan, I talked to her, I was like, hey, I'm really excited to read this, but I got to focus all of my time on Shadows Upon Time when it comes out. Would you mind waiting until I'm done with that? She was like, absolutely. And so once I finish Shadows Upon Time, we're going to jump in, a couple chapters a day, see what happens. I don't know how I can describe the Book of the New Sun without spoiling things here by the time now that we're on Book 4. But, this is the sci-fi fantasy classic. This is the definition of symbolism in SFF books. This is, Severian, who was trained as a torturer and had to leave and go on this journey at the beginning of Book 1. And we saw so much of what he did and what he went through, what he experienced, and how it's in some ways affected him, in other ways not affected him. And there's we've just seen this crazy world where literally anything can happen. And I mean, there's everything you can imagine is there, and it's just wild. But I'm having the absolute best time. Do I understand everything in here? No, and that's okay. But I'm understanding quite a bit because of those daily discussions with Joanna and others. So having the best time. Can't wait to wrap this up and see where it ends. That's crazy, right? It's really, really crazy to see where this winds up. So that'll be started towards the end of November, just depending on when I finish up Sun Eater 7. But there you go. And this will wrap into December to some degree. And then the other thing that I would like to start by the end of the month is, because once I finish Shadows Upon Time and I start chipping away at this, I'll have something else that I read alongside. And I think that's the perfect time to jump in to our new Patreon book club selection. Here, this will be The Shadow in Summer by Daniel Abraham, book one of the Long Price Quartet. This has become really, really high on my TBR because John from Talking Story, Sam from My Samwise have just ranted and raved and gushed about how amazing this series is, and all-time favorite type of deal. Some of the best fantasy that's out there type of deal. And I'm like, all right, well, I respect both of their opinions. I seem to have a lot of crossover with what they like and what they dislike. And so, hey, bring it on, right? Bring it on. So it was on the list anyway, and it was in the pool of available books for the book club that we were voting on over the past couple of months. And I kept, as soon as I saw it pop in there, I was like, hey, that'd be cool if that won. Obviously, I think there's 24 books initially, and all of them would have been awesome. But week by week, I was like, this thing just keeps moving forward. And by the end, it was tied for first place, and it won the coin flip to become our selection. So I'm going to jump into that. Probably by the end of November, we'll get a start on it and just see what all the buzz is about for the Long Price Quartet. Fantastic. Can't wait. That'll be a great November, man. Honestly, just Shadows Upon Time makes it a great November. Everything else is just icing on the cake. But very good icing nonetheless. And of course, the elephant in the room, like I mentioned, there's no Strength of the Few on this list. There's no Empire of the Dawn on this list. There's no No Life Forsaken on this list, which at least hurts me, right, as a big Malazan fan. And this is just simply a logistics issue of time that this had to happen this way. But rest assured, all three of those will be happening as soon as possible. You will certainly see at least one of them on my December TBR. There's no way that I don't. Hopefully more than one. Hopefully at least two. I doubt I can fit all three of them in there because I'll have another Wars, Light, and Shadow book to get into. So I don't think I'll have time for all three, but hopefully I can fit two of them in there. Then it'll just be down to deciding which ones. So anyway, that's all I got. That's the reading plans for November. Thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments, what are you reading in November? How many of you are reading those, the big three fantasy books that are coming out? Probably most people, but hey, if not, I would love to hear what you're reading instead, right? That'd be super, super great. And other than that, thanks so much for your support, right? I love seeing people joining the Discord. It's growing every day. I love seeing people, jump into the Patreon if they're interested. I love seeing people just talk to me in the comments and everything. It's awesome. So thank you as always. We'll see you next time.